Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. The Young and the Restless. Adam pleads with Sally for another chance, Sharon pushes Phyllis too far, and Connor blames himself for his parents' breakups. Credit: CBS screenshot. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, Soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. Connor is with Chelsea at Society having breakfast after his latest therapy session. As they wait for Adam, they discuss how proud she is of how he's been doing. He notices that she keeps checking her phone and notes that Billy hasn't been in touch. Is everything okay between them? His mom tells him not to worry about Billy. He's top dog at the office now and busy. When she suggests they order his dad a joke breakfast, he doesn't seem amused. Connor keeps pushing about how Billy hasn't been coming around or sending him funny videos like he used to. Taking a deep breath, Chelsea tells her son he deserves an explanation. She and Billy are take a break. Connor asks why. Chelsea assures him that whatever is happening has to do with a lot of reasons that aren't related to him. She and Billy are both busy and don't have time for a relationship. Forcing a smile, she says people can be happy without a relationship. Her son can see she's sad and remains convinced that they would still be together if not for his OCD. Nick and Adam finish a meeting at the athletic club. Adam gets defensive when his brother asks if he's okay. He did well in the meeting, but something seems to be bothering him. When Sally enters and Adam stares at her, Nick guesses he knows what it is. As she heads for the door, Adam chases after her, telling her they need to talk. Phyllis joins Nick and they watch Adam and Sally together. Adam begs Sally for a minute, but she thinks they have talked enough already. Adam tells her he thinks he should have been consulted about ending the relationship. Sally can see how much history he has with Chelsea and that it's not going away. This isn't something she wants anything to do with. She doesn't have the fight in her anymore. Adam asks her to let him do the fighting and offers to do anything. He insists breaking up was a mistake. Phyllis and Nick watch Sally and Adam, and she tries reading Adam's body language. Nick doesn't want to get involved with this, but she says his brother is giving off the poor me thing. She muses that that's never worked on her, and then accuses Nick of loving to rescue women. The only problem is they go back to where they started. She can't see the allure in that. Adam and Sally go to Chancellor Park, and she immediately starts regretting it. She's sure he's going to try to talk her around. They rehash what he did with Chelsea, and he admits it was weak and impulsive. He clarifies that he has love for her as the mother of his son, but that doesn't come close to what he feels for her. What they have together has the potential to last a lifetime, and what he has with Chelsea can't touch that. It already has, she reminds him. He points out that they have split up before. The love doesn't go away, and they get back together. She points out that his love for Chelsea doesn't seem to go away either. Sally knows that he will always be someone who can't control his impulses. She can't live with someone like that. She deserves better and won't compete with whatever he has with the other woman. The Newman insists that it ends with them being parents, but Sally's sure there is more. She had to realize that another woman knows him as well as she does. What he has with Chelsea will not go away. Part of her is glad that Adam has her, since that means someone who sees him the way she did is there for him to lean on. Adam gets a text from Chelsea, reminding him of their breakfast plans. Sally tells him she needs to go and trudges off. Mariah meets with Sharon at Crimson Lights to divvy up some work for the company. Mariah hopes that her mom will take advantage of this to get some rest and suggests that she'd rebook her spa vacation. Sharon insists that Faith needs her there. Mariah can't help but notice how forgetful she's being. Lucy and Daniel step onto the patio at Crimson Lights. She's reluctant to go inside. The fear of seeing Sharon is real, she says. He knows that yesterday was not fun and peers in to make sure the coast is clear. No one is there, so he sends her in to grab a table while he dashes out to the car to grab something. As soon as Lucy steps inside, Sharon returns. Lucy stops dead in her tracks. Before Sharon can walk away, Lucy begins apologizing. Explaining she's working on her letter and community service, she asks if she can meet with Faith to give her the letter of apology. Daniel returns and immediately tries to usher his daughter away, but Lucy begs for the chance to see Faith again. Sharon tells Lucy that her concern with Faith is suffocating and disturbing. Her daughter wants no contact with her. It's over, and that won't change. Lucy refuses to believe this, and accuses Sharon of trying to stop them from being friends because of Cassie. Daniel breathes deep and Sharon pivots her head. She tells Lucy that this is about Faith and protecting her. Nick walks in as Sharon becomes increasingly loud. You are in the position you are in because of your choices, not mine. Do I make myself clear? Sharon tells Lucy. Daniel tries to get her to back down, but Sharon yells that Lucy is throwing the worst memory of her life in her face. As Nick hurries over and tries to calm things, Lucy jets out the door. Daniel tells Sharon he gets that she's upset but reminds her Lucy is just a kid. Once Sharon and Nick are alone, she admits she shouldn't have raised her voice, but Lucy invoking Cassie was a step too far. She fills him in on Lucy's unhealthy attachment to their daughter and doesn't want her toxic behavior around. Nick gets it, but public outbursts aren't helping. She complains that Daniel and Heather haven't done enough. Nick reminds her that they are punishing her. Sharon doesn't think it's working since Lucy is still demanding to see her daughter. Frustrated, she doesn't feel like she should have to defend herself to him and walks out. Nick immediately calls Mariah. When Heather stops by the athletic club, she runs into Phyllis, who asks after Lucy. They talk about how she's coping since the accident. The lawyer admits she'd forgotten what it was like to be a teenager. Phyllis assures her that they grow out of it, eventually. When Sharon strides in, she spots them and marches over, complaining that she is constantly being reminded of the trauma that their family has caused her. She vents about being accosted by Lucy and declares that her patience is running out. Heather is going to let this slide but whispers that she doesn't need her advice on how to handle her daughter. Sharon vehemently disagrees and declares that she's the only one with the nerve to point out how out of line she is. Phyllis doesn't like her criticizing Daniel's parenting, but Sharon throws that back in her face. As Heather storms off, Sharon bellows at her to talk to her daughter. Phyllis accuses Sharon of coming after her family. Sharon says that she's extremely justified after they've come after her for decades. When Phyllis offers to let this go since she's clearly not herself these days, Sharon loses it. The redhead tries to get away, but Sharon physically stops her and taunts her, accusing her of always being a bulldozer who refuses to accept rejection and pushes ahead, ruining people's lives in the process. Now there's some mini-me version of her who is also running over people's lives to get her way. I am going to say this to you once. Get your family to back down now. Sharon orders. After she storms out, Phyllis declares this insanity has to stop and whips out her phone. When Daniel and Lucy arrive home, he tells her they need to have a conversation. She knows that means another lecture, and she's had enough of those today. He says what she and Sharon did were both unacceptable. Lucy thinks that Sharon is keeping her away from her only friend. That's on Sharon and him. She's stuck having to live with his selfish decisions. They are ruining her life as they always have. Daniel knows that he's made things hard for her, but that doesn't make it okay a hit below the belt. She's sorry if she's been harsh, but she's frustrated. Everyone is acting like Cassie is off limits, but they all know this is at play. Her dad says none of them will get over losing her. He's sure it has dredged up all sorts of things in Sharon as it has for him. It might be impossible to get past all of this in Geno City. When he suggests taking a trip, Lucy threatens to run away and says her parents always ruining her life because they can't stay and face the consequences for what they do. Why are they insisting on making her as miserable as them? He says they aren't miserable. She continues complaining about Sharon and claiming that she and Faith are friends. Lucy accuses her father of thinking no one could like her for who she is. Heather arrives and says she could hear them down the hall. Lucy is appalled when they send her to her room to calm down. Heather complains this is never ending. She just had a run-in with Sharon, and they will never have a moment's peace in that town. That means they need a lot more than a week away in Portugal. I think it might be time to find a new town to call home, she suggests. Adam joins Chelsea and Connor at society. His son immediately tells him that his mom and Billy broke up. Adam assures him it had nothing to do with him, but Connor continues to worry. His mother insists the break came for totally adult reasons that have nothing to do with him. Connor turns to questioning his father about Sally. Are they on a break too? If they are all on breaks, this must be about him. Relying on a soccer analogy, Adam tries to convince him that what's happened is not on him. He's not responsible for the way they play. They are a team, but he's not the cause of what they do. Their son gets it, but they are talking to him like he's dumb. Storming off, he declares he needs to wash his hands. Adam says that they need to put an end to this before it spirals or he will lose it. Billy is the one who blew this up, so he has to fix it. In Chancellor Park, Sally calls Billy and leaves a message, asking him to call her back. She holds back tears. Maria meets with Nick at Crimson Lights. They talk about faith, and Nick admits that he's starting to feel like it's Sharon, more than their daughter, who wants to keep Lucy away. Mariah concurs with this. Sharon is trying to turn Lucy into the villain and Faith can feel it. Sharon's not getting any better, is she? He muses. He fills her in about the recurring nightmares, and she tells him she's caught her talking to herself. Nick's convinced something deep is going on. Sharon swears she's on top of it, but he worries she's not taking her meds at all. They discuss how they can check up on this. Normally, Maria wouldn't suggest something so intrusive, but she does have access to find out. Nick asks if she's willing to do this. Maria says she is.